All right, so here's the trumpet portion of this.
I want to help you with that lesson, because I will bring you food while you're doing the lesson.
So this is the trumpet portion of the lesson, and we're going to look at things like instrument care and also look at some of the notes. So here are some fundamental things. Kaleb is putting together his trumpet right now, and he needs some valve oil. Right now, Kaleb's going to use some valve oil on his instrument to kind of remedy some of the challenges that he's had. First, we'll ask him about the challenges, and then we'll see how we can fix them. Okay? Okay, Kaleb. So tell me what's going on with your instrument right now.
So what's going on is that with the trumpet, I can't blow the air through this first valve.
Okay.
Which is probably because it's not straight or it needs more valve oil.
Okay. So that blue thing you got there?
Yeah.
That's the valve oil. What is that called? What do we call that?
Valve oil.
The blue juice?
Yeah, the blue juice.
Okay. You can get that on Amazon if you need it, guys. But that's how he's going to do some applying. You can look up videos on how to do this, but Kaleb has been playing for a while. These are some of the approaches yet. And talk us through what you're doing, Kaleb.
So what you have to do is you have to apply the oil to the valve to make sure that it doesn't really stick.
Okay.
And you have to do it. And something I normally do is I do all of them. Like if only one's sticking, I'm going to do all of them. So that way I won't have to do it over and over again because the other two weren't well oiled.
Okay. And what areas of the valve are you trying to apply the blue juice to?
I mostly try to apply it to this part because it will drip down from there.
Okay. For that middle one, I think you might need to put some on the outside of that valve, because this one's especially sticky and especially dry by the outside. So let's just hit that with some blue juice all the way around.
Yeah.
We're going to put it back in. We're going to spin it a little bit. Try to see if we can get some of that on the walls of where we're, get it on the walls inside there. That way we have a little bit more fluid movement. So that's kind of one approach you can take to it.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
And if you don't know how to unscrew the valve, what you have to do is you have to spin this. You have to spin this part.
Okay.
And you have to
Daddy,
pull it up.
You can eat it.
But make sure it's fully spun all the way out. It should be able to do this. So you pull it up.
Okay, thank you, Kalliope. Thank you. Give me a moment,
You
please.
pull it up. And for this, you don't really want to squeeze. You just want to see how it already is coming out. You just got to point it down and touch the valve. Make sure you don't get it too much. Alright, and then to make sure that it's actually working, or before you do this, put the top back on. So
We keep it in a plastic bag because it is oil. You don't want it dripping everywhere. You don't want your stuff.
You gotta make sure it comes down like this. This one in the middle.
Yeah, that middle one's giving us some challenges. So we're going to look at this one, and then we're going to get into some trumpet business.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we figured it out. The valves are moving pretty smoothly. Got some fluid motion happening on the valves. Awesome. All right. All right, so...
You also want to make sure you can blow air through each one, so...
And if you have a challenge blowing air through, what is your remedy?
Make sure the valves are straight.
Okay, right. And you do that just by
twisting the valve.
Excellent.
But you shouldn't twist this part because this part can screw off.
Good.
So try to twist the pole. if you can.
Okay. It's a good note. There are a lot of parts in the trumpet that can come apart. Don't get discouraged if somehow it comes apart. Just make sure you keep all the pieces, bring them back to me, and I will try to reassemble your instrument if you run into any challenges. But yeah, again, I'd advise doing some research. Check out some YouTube videos if you can. Get a private lesson teacher if you can. All the things. Get help, get resources. But I'm here for you if you need it. Okay, cool. All right. Anything else, Caleb? What's the next steps? Very good, very good. Okay. Are we ready to play?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So the scale that we're going to need for this song is the D major scale, which is D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. Thank you, Caleb, for that help. That was a lot of help for me. So this is my trumpet. It's a P horn, plastic horn that I have been relegated to use because Caleb is slowly getting way better than me, which I love it. So the scale that we're going to do is the D major scale. The D major scale starts with D, which is your first finger and your third finger. You can use your pinky on this little hook space. You can also, I've seen folks put it on the top just to balance their fingers so that they can, use it, but you can hook it on up. Don't be afraid to do that. The way you're holding your trumpet with your non-dominant hand, your left hand, is you're putting your index finger and your thumb around it, like so. Your middle finger can go inside this little valve slot that slides back and forth. This changes the pitch and intonation of the instrument, so be careful how you're moving it. You can just put it there to rest it. That way you have a good control of the instrument. Don't drop this instrument. If it's not plastic like this, even if it's plastic, it'll break. It can crack. If it's brass, it will dent. So always take care and be careful with your instruments. All right, so D major scale. If we have our fingers 1, 2, and 3, we're using 1 and 3 for D, D. Then we're going to E, which is going to be 1 and 2. We're going to go to F sharp, which is going to be just the middle key, 2, right? Then we go to G, which is open. So no keys are being pressed. After that, we go to A, which is 1 and 2 again. Then we have B, right? B comes after that, which is right in the middle. And then we have C sharp, which is all 3 keys down, right? C sharp, all 3 keys are being held down. And then our last is D, our high D, which is just 1 and 3 again, okay? So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and then D, okay? That's how we're gonna play that scale. I'm gonna try to play it. Let's see if I can get my scale right. My D is sounding a little cloudy. My P horn is probably not as it used to be. It's been kicked around a bit. So let's try this D major scale again. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Yeah, my D sounds a little wonky. It could be my intonation pitch. But if you notice, when I got to notes that felt a little bit more challenging for me to play, I almost stayed on those notes for a little while to try to correct the intonation. That's the kind of thing that I want to see you doing as you're learning how to play the instrument. If the intonation isn't right, use your voice. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. At the beginning of every class, I try to have everybody sing that scale and sing hello everybody together, because being able to use your voice will help you to play your instrument well. And I always want you to have those two things connected. So that's your D major scale. As far as what we can play in this song, a good thing to have would just be is to know your D, which is your root note. And just as I played it as a long tone, warning parents, spit valve on this instrument. So maybe give your child a towel to have on the floor. It's going to feel really gross, but when they're famous, you won't really care. So try to hold those notes for long tones. This is the best way to get your lung capacity going and get your embouchure straight, being able to hold that note straight. Fill up those lungs. And just try to get all your air out that way. Take your time. F sharp is the second one that you're going to want to know. And again, try to hold the note out as long as possible. This is the best way to practice for the trumpet. Okay? And then our last note that we want to really focus on is A, which is 1 and 2. Okay. Being able to play those 3 in succession would also be good. Listen, if I can do it on a bad instrument, you can do it on a better instrument. Sounds great. Let's play it in the context of the song. So I have a track that's on the website, mrgranville.com/create, and I have a track there, and you can practice just holding each of the notes. I'm going to practice A because it's the clearest one that seems to be coming out of here. I might do A and F sharp. Those are 2 great keys, and for trumpet it's going to be great because it just is. They work with the song, diatonic. So this is A, which is the 5th degree of the scale. So we're in concert C major. This is a B flat instrument, which means that you have to play 1 whole step above. So your scale has to start 1 whole step above. So if everybody is in concert and they're playing in C major, you're playing in D major, which is why we're learning the D major scale on the trumpet exclusive. All right. I'm going to play this and then just try to hold long tones for A and F sharp. Okay, A is higher, F sharp is lower, D is our root note. 1, 2, here's my A. sound lines are doing similar to what I was doing, right? It goes down to the D, but you don't need to do. Now there's one more section in here, and it adds in a note that is not in the D major scale, which is D flat. Yeah, a D flat or A sharp, however you want to view it. And I'll play that, so it's going to be 1. So it happens pretty quickly, okay? I go from A to B flat to B. Right here, watch. My keys got stuck. Man, but it's okay. Sometimes that happens. So that looks like this again. We have A. Then I'm going to that B flat or A sharp. And then I'm going to B, which is 2. And then I'm going right back down to A. And it's just like, it's not a part that we have necessarily gone over yet in the song, but it's just like a nice, interesting chromatic rise. It's an arrangement thing. I compose, so I nerd out on songs sometimes. But it's something very easy that you can easily do. Go from 2 to 1 to 2. So 1 and 2 to 1 to 2, and then back to 1 and 2. You don't have to learn that right now. Right now, you can just focus on A, which is 1 and 2, and then F sharp, which is 2, right? And then also work on D, which is 1 and 3, okay? Then try to work out that scale. D, 1 and 3, E, 1 and 2, F sharp, which is just 2, G, which is 0, no keys. Then you have A, which is 1 and 2. Then you have B, which is 2. Then you have C sharp, which is 1, 2, and 3. And then you have D, which is 1 and 3. And that's your do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And that's trumpet. I know. You're like, man, there are only 3 keys. How do they put a whole scale in there? Ooh. It's all about registers, y'all. I mean, and you can experiment with this a little bit, even with it just open. Just go. I'm not a trumpet player, y'all. I'm just doing my best to show y'all what to do. But this is a great way to test out the registers. Yeah, that's about all I've got. If you have any questions or if you need things for your horn, feel free to reach out. As you see, Kaleb is a really big help, especially in the room, and you can talk to the trumpet players about that because it seems like they've been doing well. Their little squad has been practicing. So I'm excited to see what comes of the horn section. All right, I'll see y'all in a little bit.